are back and now we're in global citizenship. Remember that we have been speaking about the different characteristics of a place, like physical features, if the land is fertile, how's the weather, what kind of people live there, okay? So now we're going to speak about physical geography and culture. Physical geography, it's speaking about the climate, the kind of land, if there are mountains, forests, a tundra, okay? What can you find there? They also speak about the animals that live in the area and the plants you can find. So as you can see, speaking about physical geography is speaking about a lot of things. And also, the physical geography dictates culture. For example, the culture of people who live in the northern parts is very difficult because the weather changes so much that you have to live according to that kind of weather, okay? So it can change drastically. For instance, our clothing, which is part of our culture, if you think about the Mexicas and the Mayas, their clothing was very different from people, for example, like the Vikings, who were living in the snow. So you have to consider all these kind of things to think about the clothing, the food, traditions, things that people create to live according to the place they are. Okay, so how does the climate and weather where you live affect the clothes you wear? So tell me, we live in Querétaro. What kind of clothes do we wear? Okay, I want you to write here in one sentence the kind of clothing you wear. Okay, so work with your team to design an outfit that will be worn in one of the climates. Okay, I'm going to give you one of these climates. Actually, you get to pick it. You have to choose between the Sahara Desert, the Siberian Russia, which is really cold. Remember, they have the permafrost, which is snow that has not melted in millions of years. Sri Lanka, India, which is warm, tropical, and rains a lot. Okay, so don't use this. Use your spare pages. Design what they will wear and use a lot of colors, okay? You're going to share your outfit with the class. We're going to share it a little bit, but I want you to write a short explanation about your outfit, okay? Write it and you will read to the class. We will read it all together. Maybe not all of us, but we will take turns to read as many of us as we can, okay? So this is page 111 in Global Citizenship, and I believe it's very interesting because it gives you the opportunity to think about different weathers, okay? Now, speaking of weathers, we're going to go to geographic culture in the Eastern Hemisphere, okay? So for this one, you need to read, okay? So, let's read it. I'm going to put the tape and you're going to follow the reading, okay?
Geography and culture in the Eastern Hemisphere. Read and listen to the following text. Physical geography can influence culture. A culture describes how a group of people live. Let's look at some examples of how physical geography impacts culture in the Eastern Hemisphere. Southeast Asian countries, such as Vietnam and Indonesia, are warm and get lots of rain. As a result, the area has a very fertile land. This allows people to grow rice in paddy fields. Rice is an important part of people's diets in the area. People make money from selling the rice to people all over the world. The Nenets live in the very northern part of Russia. It is very cold and snowy. The Nenets use sleds to move around on the snow. A lot of reindeer live in the area. The Nenets depend on reindeer herds for food, clothing, and transportation. But climate change and other factors are threatening the Nenet way of life. Santorini is a Greek island in the Mediterranean Sea. The island has no rivers, and fresh water is hard to find. People used to collect rainwater in large tanks on their roofs. Many houses in Santorini are dug into the sides of the cliffs. The rock gives the houses insulation to keep them cool in the hot summer and warm in the winter. Huti live in the rainforests of the Congo. They are isolated from most of the outside world, so they forage for food in the rainforest instead of going to the store. They live in huts made from vines, leaves, and sticks in the rainforest.
Okay. So as you can see, they spoke about different cultures and how they live. Imagine the difference between living in a place covered with snow and a place in an island when you have no drinkable water. They have to collect it from the rains, okay? And then imagine you live in a forest with no stores. So you have to make everything or go to the forest to get it, okay? So they are very different. And what are you going to do? You're going to make a small chart, okay? You have to answer this chart. Here it is. Let me move it so there we are. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to use the information that you just read. And then describe these places. So you have to describe Vietnam and Indonesia, north of Russia, Santorini, and the Congo. You have them here. Okay, so Vietnam and Indonesia. Then this is the north of Russia. Let me there. Then here you have Santorini, and here you have the Congo. Okay, so I know it's a little bit blurry, but you have your books, okay, and you have the internet for the online books. So what you have to do is complete this chart that you have here on your guide and speak about the 4 places they spoke in the book. Okay, that's it, and you are going to send a picture of your outfit to my mail. Okay, so that's it. Have a great day and see you next video.